talking with my mind. Stayed on sweeping, walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on sweeping, walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on sweeping, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Take it away, Steve. Oh, I woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Oh, my mic is hot. I hope I was in tune. Good morning, CSL Simi Valley. Welcome to y'all that are here. Welcome to those of you that are here on Facebook, YouTube, or CSLSimiValley.org. So happy to have you here on this beautiful Sunday morning. We got the Soul Purpose Band is back. Yeah, everybody healthy?
Yeah.
I see you're all masked up with your KN95 matching mask. Oh, now everybody is. Well, you were singing. You were singing. Yeah. Guest artist today, Freebo. God, Freebo, I love having you here. Your music is so good. You're doing the GPS song. That is so perfect for today's talk, too. I'll tell you later. I'm not going to give the talk away just yet. And welcome to those of you that didn't get the message that we're not meeting in person, but glad to have you here as well. And that's wonderful. You know, this is a big week for Sinister Spirit. Revolves around the King Day celebration. You know, there are a number of states that are challenged with the idea of King Day. Idaho calls it Martin Luther King Jr. Civil Rights Day because they don't want to get Human Rights Day is what they do. But in Alabama and Mississippi, it's King Lee Day. Yes, because Robert E. Lee's birthday is on the 19th. So they celebrate his birthday as well. Now in Virginia, they did that. And they added Stonewall Jackson's name, but a few years back, they separated the two, so King had his holiday, and then Lee and Jackson had their holiday, and in 2020, they finally got rid of the Lee-Jackson holiday. But it's interesting that we would celebrate. You know, in most of the parts of the world, when you lose the Civil War, you don't get to celebrate. That just doesn't happen. We need to maybe take a look at that. As we approach another King Day holiday, and our folks in Mississippi and Alabama, we will treat for you. We love you, but we will treat for you. In fact, that's what we do in this whole business. We do a lot of treating because we have a vision and a mission statement that includes how we bring our life into full operation through the practices and the principles of the science of mind as it is independently and individualized, expressly given to us here at CSL Simi Valley. And it is this way right here. I invite you to join me as we say it. Say it at home. Say it so loud that your neighbors are saying, are they saying that thing again? It must be Sunday morning. What are they watching? They're watching us, where we say we're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here and here and here and here. And here's what we do. Thank you, Dee.
Got to arrange things. So please join me in this morning's prayer. So as we take a deep breath and release it as we choose, recognizing that today is a brand new day with infinite possibilities for each and every one here and beyond here. Knowing this, establishing this as truth, we remember that there is only one all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present essence that moves through everything, everyone, and every experience. And at each of us are the power and presence of God expressing uniquely as us here and now. Saying this with great gratitude for the opportunity to be here today, and with the support team we have, with our music team and our musical guest and our spiritual leader with his wise words, our stage crew, our slide person, our camera and video person, as well as a person who floats around doing whatever needs to be done. So with great gratitude, knowing that this service unfolds with the grace and ease, we now release this word to law and know with absolute certainty that love prevails. And together we say, and so it is. So please stand and sing, and it's an opportunity to dance like no one is watching you.
How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today? How can I serve today? Who needs my love today? Who needs my love today? Sweet spirit.
Thank you. Okay, I'm moving things over, so hopefully I don't wreck anything doing that. All right, we're going to begin with our affirmation. I will state it first, then I will ask you to speak it with me. The universe conspires for my highest good, and I gratefully accept its simple treasures. Together. The universe conspires for my highest good, and I gratefully accept its simple treasures. I found my reading in a book called Gratitude, A Way of Life by Louise Hay and her friends. And I took an excerpt from what Reverend Christian Sorensen wrote, calling it Looking Through the Eyes of Gratitude. Life is an abundant broadcasting system, just waiting for us to tune in to its infinite varieties. As we turn our attention to the positive side through praise and appreciation, we bring ourselves into harmony with this giving frequency. It's easy to be grateful for the grand things in life, but to be appreciative for all things puts you in a powerful and harmonious place. This morning, as I sat on the bluffs of Del Mar, greeting the day, I was immersed in so much beauty that it filled me with a sense of awe. I felt a oneness with the pelicans as they glided inches above the water. I sensed the joy of the dolphins surfing the big waves, And as I caught a glimpse of the whales lifting their majestic fins, I knew the majesty of God. In the rapture of the moment, I also caught a glimpse of myself breathing in unison with the ebb and flow of the tide that appeared to be in perfect rhythm with the wind, the grass rippling in perfect concordance with the rest. And in this moment, I was acutely aware of every grain of sand, which was resonating in perfect balance with the whole of the universe. When I returned to a state of individuality, what else could I say but thank you?
Thank you, Dee. All right, Freebo, come on up. Let's do your first song.
With pleasure, Sherry. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
It's great to be back on this beautiful day. Stay safe out there. Stay conscious. And pay attention to your personal GPS. That's the name of this song. It goes like this. Let me tell you about my angel, the one you never see, my everyday companion living deep inside of me. She guides me through the trenches, she gets me out of every mess. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. She leads me on my journey. She leads me to the goal. She's always on the money, never leaves me in the cold. And every time I listen, I wind up being truly blessed. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. I'm at the fork in the road, I gotta make a choice. So much going on, I don't heed her voice, so I'll make a wrong turn. I'm feeling lost and afraid, then I hear my angel calling, recalculate. Well, I gotta pay attention, it's powerful stuff. I gotta turn it on, and I gotta turn it up. 'Cause every time I do it, you know I'm guaranteed success. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Play it for me, Steve. One more time. Well, I'm floating lost and lonely. I'm drifting in the dark. Will I ever find a harbor? I don't see it on the chart. With something saying no, but someone else is whispering yes, yes, yes. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Yes, she is. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, crystal clear and never muddy. She's my Watson, she's my tunnel, never tardy, always prompt. She's my Sherpa, she's my guide, never runs and never hides, truly awesome. She's the best. She's my personal GPS. My personal GPS. She's my personal GPS. I say she's my personal GPS. Yes, yes. Yes, she is, and she's right here. Y'all got one.
It's that time. It's that time for this. It's that time and opportunity for us to go within for 3 minutes and to listen, to ask, to talk, or just simply rest in the peace of that indwelling presence. So I'll begin by ringing the thing over there 3 times, leaving enough space in between to allow you a big cleansing breath between each one if you would like. When the 3 minutes is up, Sherry will bring you back out with some music, and we'll go from there. Shall we? So as you come back into the awareness of the room, remember and know that if you haven't already established a meditation practice, that this is something you can take home with you. And basically on the road, anywhere. And be creative. Find the ways that help you stay listening and find out what it does for you. I dare you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dee. Come on back up, Freebo.
So much more centered after that meditation. But my guitar's not. Better. You know, it all comes down to love. Right, Reverend Steve? All comes down to love. This song is called Everything to Do with Love. I had a dream, a vision. I woke up singing in the middle of the night, 'cause the world had finally got it right. It had nothing to do with history, which side had lost or won. It had everything, everything to do with love. When you hear a voice calling somewhere inside you, saying we're not alone, and the music fills your heart with hope. It's got nothing to do with boundaries, thinking you gotta be tough. It's got everything, everything to do with love. It's got everything, everything to do with love. With our differences behind us, the world looks new. Maybe something as simple as kindness can see us through. Well, it takes as long as it takes, and you know when the moment is right, you hear somebody singing in the morning light. There's so much hope to hold on to, so many songs to be sung. It's got everything, everything to do with love. It's got everything, everything to do with love. Everything, everything, everything to do with love. I had a dream, a vision. I woke up singing in the middle of the night, 'cause the world has finally got it right. There's so much hope to hold on to, so many songs to be sung. It's got everything, everything to do with love. It's got everything, everything to do with love. Everything, everything, everything to do with love. That's all there is.
Freebo, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Man, I am so glad you embraced your talent and got into the forefront. Because I remember you saying you didn't always write songs.
No, I didn't.
Man, so glad you found your voice.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Everything to do with love. Indeed, indeed it does. All right. So, I don't know. Did you pass that on? So we got some comments that maybe there's some background noise. We don't know. We'll see if we can source it out. Sorry you're experiencing that, but that's the technical world we live in. Pretty soon that'll all be gone. Let's see. How about now? Do you have it? Somebody's watching the Facebook chat, so if you don't hear it anymore, tell us. That'll help us source it out. But in the meantime, let's get into what we're talking about today. Simple treasures. It's been the simple month. Keep it simple. Keep it spiritually simple. A kiss to everyone. So we did simple questions, simple pleasures, simple treasures. Simple treasures aren't always that simple. Life is so complicated. We look for treasures. We look for treasures as resources to kind of mitigate our challenges and our stresses and the stuff that's going on. We see our treasures as experiences. I treasure that vacation I took, that river cruise through Europe. What a treasure that was. Or we treasure situations that have come up in our lives that we look back on and hold on as wonderful. We also treasure the future situations that are coming for us. And the things, of course, the things. We definitely treasure our things. I love my iPad. These things, right? It's interesting, though. So many of our treasures do, at least when I think about it, they propel me into the future space or they take me back into a past space. Animals, they don't go through this. They have no problem. They have no problem being right here, right now, in that space of love, They're right now, the moment is just enough. But for us, no. We need to have our chest filled with treasures to get us through the present moment. And then sometimes our memories and our expectations, our past and our future we're so linked into that we miss the gift that's in the middle called the present moment. There's this Zen master. Name is Charlotte Jojo Beck. What a fun name. She says that joy is exactly what's happening minus our opinion of it. And our opinion of it is so frequently that memory space, that expectation space, that past that space, that future space. If I could just get there, I'll be happy. But by the time I get there, I'm thinking about the next there I want to get to, and I forget that I missed the there that I got to, which is right here. Oh, that was a lot of there's and here's. But that's the whole point of it. And I missed the joy. There was this guy, thinking about the story of a guy who was sharing to me, he was going to have surgery. And the surgery was well, I don't want to call it routine. No, it's not routine. You don't wake up every morning and have somebody invade your body. So it's not routine surgery. But it was surgery that, it was highly survivable surgery. And the plan was made. And this is a person who has their whole life in order. They got their life insurance and their will and their testament. And, they get money in the bank and a family to take care of them when they come back. And so there was no real major concern. But they were on vacation, a wonderful, sweet vacation, thinking about and worried about this doggone surgery. They were so busy thinking about something that's a week away that they're missing the whole vacation experience. How many times are we doing that? Well, we're in the middle of just super, as Charlotte says, joy happening right now, but our opinion about this now moment is unavailable to us because we're way over here looking at some future existence or way back here worried about something that's already happened, and we don't get to feel the joy of it now because we're so stuck in our opinion of it. Our challenge, I think, is to wake up from this delusion that we live in and to deepen into our experiences of life, not deepen into our sleepiness of life. That's our work. Our work is to simplify things a little bit. And when I think about this idea of simplifying things, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, let's fix it. Okay. And then people want to fix life. If life would only do this and if life would only do that, there's nothing wrong with life. Life is just fine. You don't believe me? Drive down the 405 when it's actually the 4 or 5 hour freeway. And when you're driving down the 4 or 5 hour freeway, you'll have plenty of time to look at the cracks in the road where there is grass growing or the palm tree. How many gardeners out there? Palm trees and birds. I mean, I don't know what's up with that. But every other day or so, it seems like there's a new palm tree growing in my yard. And if I don't catch it soon enough, the root from that palm tree is deep, 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 deep. Life is fine. Life's going to do its thing. The challenge for me is to adjust and to align with life. And I can most presently align with life if I can stay out of that past-future dynamic and sit here in this present moment. If I can be available back to that garden metaphor, if I can just celebrate that garden and watch it every day, I'll notice that the little sprig that comes up before it becomes a big old palm tree that I have to dig deep to get it out of the ground, you know? But this thing about if I could just fix it, it'll be okay. Alan Watts talks about this in the, I think it's called The Wisdom of Insecurities, is the name of the book. Great book. And he says that the power of memories and expectations is such that for most human beings, the past and the future are not as real, but more real than the present moment. Not as real, but more real than the present moment. We can get so stuck in that stuff. But life is supposed to be easy. Life is supposed to be delightful. But what's hard sometimes is getting caught in those spaces of the illusion. To get caught in our ambitions. Stuck on our cravings. I gotta have. And oh my goodness, the labels. The labels that we put upon ourselves. All that ego stuff. And what is ego? What is ego? Edging God out is one of the acronyms for ego. But I like to think of it as engaging God only. So I can engage God only in my life. And I can begin to simplify my life. To simplify the treasures of my life. And here's my clue for the day. Here's the thing that has come to me as I've been contemplating this idea now. I looked at the etymology. I love etymology of words. And in the etymology of the word treasure, it relates to property. And the etymology of property is to belong to the self. Belonging to the self. If I back that up from belonging to the self as of property, then the treasure is not my land. It's not my houses. My house. Okay, there's a doghouse in the backyard. My houses, okay. It's not my paintings or the jewels that I carry around. It's not the cars in the driveway. You know, at one point, talk about the capitalist collective craving, illusional thinking that can happen in a person's life. Before Johanna came in my life, I was a single guy. I had 5 motorcycles, 4 bicycles, and one of the bicycles was a tandem, and I lived alone. Oh my goodness. Talk about collecting stuff. Talk about living in an illusion. One day, and now I got the great partner, but I don't have the tandem anymore. But one day, I'll have a great partner. We can ride on the tandem together. And I didn't have the partner, I just had the tandem. They'll talk about thinking about, it's not our property, that's our treasure. It's ourselves. If I can belong to the self, or even better, belong to the capital S self, the life itself, I'm living in the most beautiful treasure that is possible. True property, true treasure is you to yourself. That thing that looks at you in the mirror and says, yeah, you can go out and run the tiller and clean 3 beds and cut some trees and fix the fence. You'll be fine. And then the next morning you're like, oh my goodness, what happened? I thought I was 19, but I'm not anymore. But that's okay because I know that I'm the treasure, that you're the treasure of your own life. And then once that happens, then all the other intangible treasures become more real for us. Our morals, our values, our spiritual qualities, our capacity for love, the simple integrity, integer, one unit wholeness of ourselves. We can bring that into our experience. That's the simple truth of what the treasure is all about. But we're so sometimes unaware of the things that we say. One of my dear friends, Eugene Holden, in his classes speaks a whole section about the I am, the power of I am, and what you say, what follows, what is in the blank behind I am. I am a singer. I am a guitar player. I am a preacher. I am this. I am that. But what I am is I am of spirit. That's the most awesome treasure of all. But we forget that. Sometimes identify so closely with the I am that we forget about the larger I, capital M, that could be a part of who we are. You know, there was this lawyer who hired a plumber. People who worked around his house. This is a note to all those kids out there that are thinking about going to college. Okay, hey, college is great. Got nothing wrong with college. But trade school, vocational training, check this story out. So here's this lawyer. He hires a plumber. The plumber gives him the bill at the end of the work. The lawyer looks at the bill and says, $200 an hour? I'm a lawyer, and I don't make $200 an hour. And the plumber says, yeah, I used to be a lawyer, too, and I didn't make $200 an hour then either. We get so identified with who we are and what we am and what we is, and we forget that we is spirit. We are a treasure, you and I, each and every one of us. It's not all that we add to our life. It's the simple part of the thing that we came into life with to begin with. Anthony Dee Mellor talks about that in that wonderful, one of my favorite things. It's a skinny book. I like skinny books because it gives you a sense of completion because you can read them real fast. And in it he says, you don't have to add anything in order to be happy. You do not have to add anything in order to be happy. You've got to drop something. We have to drop something. Sometimes it might help us to drop some of our illusions about who and what we think we are so that we can get into a better space. We have to maybe drop a few things so we can understand that we are indeed our own treasure. And as we can accept that, we can accept a deeper, higher value for ourselves when we understand that. When we understand that you are enough. Say it to yourself right now. I am enough. I am enough. I am of spirit. I am love. Whew. Those kind of words feel so much better than I am a lawyer or I am a plumber. I mean, those are great. You know, because if your plumber doesn't work, you might have to hire a lawyer to sue him. But the truth is, I am enough as I am, as I came here, spirit itself, living through life. Any changes that need to be happening in our lives, it's not about the outside world, not about trying to fix that. It's about inside us. The change we need to make to bring more value to our lives is the changes that we can make for ourselves, not to some other. You point your finger, what happens, right? You know it. We all know it. What's this? There's 3 back here at me. That's the thing. So even pointing is a metaphorical signal to remind you to look back at the self. Look back at the treasure. Go back into your Father's closet. Go into your closet and pray in secret. If it were not said that way, it's said that way so we can understand that the value of who we are is right here within who we are. We go into the closet to receive the great kingdom. And a lot of this happens when we can start to drop those negative judgments. The negative judgments about the outside world, and particularly the negative judgments about the self. The things that are sometimes said, I'm guilty of this. I say stuff to myself that if you said that to me, we'd be meeting after school behind the bleachers. I mean, it'd be on. That lip time. But no. Negativity, judgment. And then sometimes it's almost as if we think we'll feel better if we think negatively. We think we'll feel better if we worry about stuff. We think we'll feel better if we assess and access and gain a lot of stuff. But a lot of stuff brings a lot of worry. And this message that I'm speaking to you today is not a new message. It's the message that mystics have been yelling till they are hoarse in the throat forever and ever and ever to say to us, you are one. You are one with all that is. You are one with the great I am. There's no reaching outside of the self to find what needs to be done. There's no work that needs to be done outside the self to be part of the one. Meister Eckhart, in one of his most wonderful statements of wisdom, right next to if there's any prayer you'd ever say in your life, thank you is enough, when he said that God is not attained by a process of addition to anything in the soul, but by a process of subtraction. So in order to know ourselves fully, because God is so infinite, we must begin to pull back from all these externals to get down to the kernel of who we are. Because as Emerson says, in the mind that maketh all, there is no big or small. There's no big thing out there or small thing over there. There's just the one thing that was in here. And the simple good and the simple truth is that when we know that we are our own treasures, life becomes more attainable, more manageable, more functional, less stress-oriented. We understand that, see, when you know you're your treasure, it's hard to upset the apple cart. Because the next step to that is, why am I a treasure? Because I am of the divine. Well, what does that mean? I have an infinite intelligence available to me that is creative and is substantive, and it works with a mind law that hears and obeys the subjectivity of the object of thought. This is a wonderful thing that we have happening here in the science of mind. A wonderful way of applying these principles so that once we get down to that root, once we take away all the externals and subtract, and are left with just the one relationship that is primary to our life, then we can direct ourselves in that relationship to bring a higher experience of ourselves in life. Unearthing your treasure is a simple and fun thing to do. And it starts with, I think, with noticing feelings. When I say noticing feelings, I want you to hear that word Knowtice, to notice, to know what's going on within us. We are, and particularly us guys, we get conditioned against our feelings pretty early on. We know, what happens when you fall down? Get up, I'm okay, I'm good, nothing happens. You bang your thumb on the hammer and, no, shake it off. All of that stuff, divorcing us from our feelings. I love the new 21st century thing about looking at toxic masculinity, looking at our feelings and seeing how do we see, and then knowing this about the feelings. See, the thing that's the first part of feelings is of course feeling them, not being numb, waking up from it. But then the next thing to understand is that feelings are in us, but they're not reality. They're our relationship to reality. See, feelings are not a fact, but the fact is we have feelings. And when we can start to dance with them and understand them a little bit, then we can start to see that some of the things that we are feeling are the result of some of the things we have as opposed to some of the things that we are. Instead of I am, it's I have. I have discomfort in this moment. I am not discomfort. I have discomfort. I have illness in this moment. I am not illness. I am of the great I am. Therefore, I am whole, perfect, and complete. So what I am having is an experience, and I'm having a feeling about that experience. But when I can know that, then I can understand that the only thing that I must change is my relationship to that feeling. And then when I understand that fully, what I receive is what I can accept. And what I want to accept is Spirit's simplicity of life. That's how I can receive the treasure of self-awareness, of knowing who and what I am. The treasure of spiritual awareness, of knowing this divine presence, this infinite something, this great no thing that becomes every great thing. And it becomes that by means of my relationship to it. And the only way to have that relationship with it is through this inner process of knowing that I'm talking about. Dr. Holmes makes this so clear in the textbook. He says that if God is to interpret himself to man, he must interpret himself through man. And the Spirit can make no gift that we do not accept. And yes, he does use a lot of he's in that. That's the gender of the time. You can fix it for yourself. If God is to interpret himself through humankind, through itself through humankind, then it must interpret itself through humankind. You can say that, but the truth of it is still the same. This great thing that's happening that Dr. Holmes calls the thing itself, is happening through us. It can happen no other way. That animal that I talked about earlier, the bird that's sitting on the branch that's just happy to, the woodpecker who's just happy to get the grubs out of the tree in that moment. It's not thinking about will there be enough grubs here tomorrow, or were there grubs here yesterday, why am I on this tree? It's pleased with that. But we have that. We have that ability to do that. And why is that? Because we have been given the opportunity to create as the Creator creates. We have been given the opportunity to interpret life by means of our life. We don't want to make it all that difficult. As we accept that we are the treasure, then our experiences increase, our love increases, our sense of humanity between each other increases, our understanding of wholeness, and then our connection with all. So that when you're working with your personal GPS and love is your motivating factor in life, you know why, and you know what to do with it. And the why is because you are the treasure. And what you do with it is you create simple pleasures. And so it is. All right. I am really ready for this little bump we're having with COVID to be out and about so that we can return here to a fuller house. I miss all of you, and I'm so glad that all of you are here this morning. And I'm grateful for those of you that are here with us in person this morning in service to our community. So the affirmation for today is, the universe conspires for my highest good, and I gratefully accept its simple treasure. Okay, we're going to move into our revealing prayer. Right now, for those of you who haven't been with us long, I call it the revealing prayer as opposed to the healing prayer, because the revealing of truth is what we're talking about. The revealing of perfection is what we're talking about. And sometimes, as I was saying in the talk, sometimes we think that we are something when actually we have something. And if we have something, we can lose something, or we can consciously take it away. We can, as was talked about from Anthony Dee Mellor, we could subtract it from ourselves, as Meister Eckhart says. We can drop it from ourselves, as Dee Mellor says. And in our treatments, we sometimes have to drop conditions in our lives mentally so that we can drop them physically and emotionally and spiritually from our lives as well. So we're going to do that now as I share this treatment for each and every one of you out there and here at the center that are concerned with anything in your life that is causing any sense of discomfort, stress, worry, anything that is pushing you into that expectation space or keeping you in that past space, in that memory space. This is to bring us into that present space. So what I know is that there is one infinite presence. Dr. Holmes calls it the thing itself. So many words, but I love how he capsulizes it into, it's this thing that is everything, that is itself. Conscious of all, it became the all in its multiplicity of forms, so that all that is in form, all that is occupying time and space in this particular place is of the divine. And so we are all unified in this. We are all rooted in spirit. And so collectively we can use that rooted power in demonstration of our good in life by applying these principles and consciously and directly using our thought in a way of complete awareness of the center of who we are, centered here in this now moment. We can speak our truth to bring more harmony and social justice and economic justice and right relationship with our fellow kind, where the borders still exist, but they become porous in a healthy sort of way. There is something birthing forth in our nation. It's represented by this upcoming holiday that we are talking about from Dr. King and the principles that he spoke, that he shared in common with Gandhi, the ways that Desmond Tutu spoke to the world, the ways that the Dalai Lama speaks to the world, the ways that your neighbor speaks to you, the way that you smile at someone who's holding a baby or walking their dog. There's this thing that's happening called love that is right now bursting forth and calling for each and every one of us to participate more fully by giving our treasure to the world. And as we do that, right relationship flows forth. Healing takes place. Prosperity and abundance become shared by all. This is the way of spirit. There is more than enough of everything for everyone, so we need not worry about grabbing our own and depriving anyone of anything, for spirit is infinite. Therefore, there is infinite givingness available for all. And in recognizing this truth and understanding this fully, I, right here and now, by this word, affirm the ability for each and every one of us to know this truth individually for ourselves without deplenishing any good for anyone else. We cause no harm as we receive our all. And we hold that truth. We are living in love. Grateful for this knowledge, I release this prayer now into a perfect law that understands exactly how to make it happen, when to make it happen, where to make it happen, and it's happening now. And so it is. Okay, so we will have a basket outside for anyone who here wants to leave a gift. For those that are online right now, you can go to cslcme.org/donating for a gift. You can text the word give to 805-600-5677. And when you text to the word give, don't just write in the word give. Put in a dollar amount. I just thought about that. That would be nice too. Or you can also call the office at 805-527-0870. Those are the various ways you can help support our Center for Spiritual Living, which is doing really well, and we're grateful for that. We also support our own individual prosperity and abundance and that of the center when we say this prayer of affirmation, which says, divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for CSL Simi Valley. Now, divine love is victorious. Yes, it is. And here are your week's announcements. And Sherry will give you some background music on that. Thank you so much, Sherry.
God is, I am, you are, we are the power and presence of God expressing uniquely as our prosperous selves. So thank you for sharing your prosperity with this center who then shares it with everyone else. Thank you. Know that you are all loved and valued, and with Releasing this word to law, we know with absolute certainty that love prevails. And together we say, and so it is.
All right, Freebo, let's do it again. Because if not now. All right.
Oh, once again, it was wonderful to be here, Reverend Stephen. Thank you for having me. Sherry and the band, nice job, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to those of you here in the sanctuary and those of you out there in cyberspace. Really appreciate your support, and it's really just a pleasure to be part of this spirituality, goodness, love. This song is called If Not Now, When? Ready? One, two, one, two, three. When I was a young boy, I had these dreams. Time didn't matter, but so it seemed. Now I'm still a dreamer, like I was back then. But time keeps screaming, if not now, when? Hundreds of heartaches, broken down plans, so many what ifs, and what if I can't? My fear held me captive, caged in a pen. Time to break free, boy. If not now, when? If not now, when? If not me, who? I can't pretend. Oh no, 'cause I know it's true. I make this vow, I swear amen. My time is now, if not now, when? Doubting and blaming, time to let them go, 'cause this healing journey, it can go so slow. But I hear these voices again and again. They keep on calling, if not now, when? If not now, when? If not me, who? I can't pretend, 'cause I know it's true. I make this vow, I swear amen. My time is now, not now, when? Play for me, Steve. It's time to take this leap of faith without a net. Hello to destiny and goodbye regret. If not now, when? If not me, who? I can't pretend. Oh no, 'cause I know it's true. If not now, when? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you.
Sunday.
Oh, my goodness. Somebody wrote on the Facebook thing, Freebo is good for what ails you. You are good medicine, my friend. Absolutely. Oh, so good. The wonders of technology, it's something else. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, you may have seen a guy commenting, Steve McGee. He was my running buddy in high school. And no one would have ever imagined this. But Steve is a preacher. Steve McGee is a preacher. In Ohio, from Ohio. And we found out about the same time that we had transitioned into this and had a great time. And we come at it from slightly different perspectives, but we find the commonality because we know that there's only the one God. So, Steve, thanks for saying here. I love when you preach, and I love your barbecue sauce. You make some killer barbecue sauce. Yes, indeed. It's a beautiful service today. And thanks for everybody that was watching. Thanks for those of you that are here. And Kathy, great job on the slides today. Soul Purpose Band, fantastic. So great to have you guys back. Love that. Freebo, I just your music. People think crank it up. They're just loving that. Ron, thank you for your support on stage work. Gregory, good job on the shifting back and forth. We really like all that. And your prayers were fantastic. Love the story that you brought. That was great. And those cliffs. I went to Seaside campus for ministerial school, so those cliffs of Del Mar, they're so sweet. Great place to meditate from as well. Dr. Susan, thank you for what you're doing. I don't think she has any kids today, so. Oh, that's right. She's doing Cosmic Kids on Facebook today. So, yeah. So we don't get to hear what they're doing. But if you want to know what they're doing, you can click over to Dr. Susan real fast if you want to. But I'd like for you to stay here for the closing song. So your choice. Your choice. We're all over the place. That's great. We come from all different directions. That's wonderful. Well, let's close out with our benediction. So we have that. If you'd like to stand here with us, we will say this before we leave, and then we'll sing. And it is. I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.
I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide, only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
See you next week. Poetry on Wednesday night. Come on out for poetry and spiritual practice. It's going to be fantastic. We'll see you then.
I don't remember what day it was, and I didn't notice what time it was. All Bye.